What's up, everyone? Welcome to Favorite Fighter Friday with the 6 rounds, where we'll be bringing you our favorite fighter of the week and why. Ginger, would you like to start off with your favorite fighter?
Yes, I would. So, fire I chose this week, it just has to it just has to do with everything with the fact that they were my first favorite fighter. I don't remember what I saw, what it was that made me just love this fighter, but Ruthless Robbie Lawler is by far one of my favorite fighters of all time. I love I I mean recently I haven't loved watching him fight, but just because of how it's been going, but one of my favorite things to do is to go back and just watch a bunch of Robbie Lawler fights. He is, for a long time, was just violence personified in the welterweight division with heavy hands and could knock out just about anyone.
I was gonna say straight brawls.
Oh my god, straight up, just Robbie Brawler like that. I cannot believe that was not like a really big unofficial nickname.
Right, just
But
more common Robbie Brawler Lawler.
mm-hmm, right, because that's what he was. He was a sprawl and brawl kind of guy. Fought southpaw, so it wasn't like someone that you would be fighting every time. Like he was always like because so many fighters fight orthodox, and he was a southpaw that made him a little bit trickier to handle. And one of my favorite just little factoids about Robbie Lawler is like when he was with Militich Fighting Systems, which is where he started out. Like, he was doing good, but he wasn't doing his best. And he moves from it was either Iowa or Illinois down to Florida. And after he moved to Florida, it was either after he moved or before he moved, he found out he had asthma. Moves to Florida and his cardio just skyrockets. And so now he can not only just brawl, he can
Left the
brawl and
elevation, went
keep
to
it
sea level.
exactly. Kane at sea level Kane. Uh,
I cannot. I didn't know how
Suntanned
real it
Robbie
was
Lawler.
till I moved from sea level
Hmm.
and walking up to three flights.
Oh my god.
It's
It's insane like what elevation can actually do to your fucking cardio. The air just gets so thin. But yeah,
crazy.
Robbie Lawler just moves from Militich Fighting Systems over to ATT. And after that, he just goes on this huge run, like, and gets back. Like, once he gets back into the UFC, he comes back and is fighting Josh Koscheck, which he had a problem with grapplers for most of his career. And during during part of the first round, was having a little bit of trouble with Koscheck. Koscheck got him down. But once Robbie got back up, he just started throwing bombs, and Koscheck could not hang with Robbie Lawler. And just, oh my god, the fact that Robbie Lawler went from going once he was outside the UFC, like he had 18 fights, one, two, three, six losses and one no contest. He went like 10-6-1 outside of the UFC. No one was expecting him to come back
Right.
from that and
But
then go on to become the welterweight champion of the world in the UFC, beating Johnny fucking Hendricks, who everyone believed beat GSP. No one thought that, and then goes on to fight in a bloody war of a rematch with Rory McDonald, only ending in the fifth because Rory just couldn't take any more punishment.
yeah, that's crazy.
It
It's so fucked up.
it really is fucked up. He had the fucked up huge cut in his lip. Robbie Lawler was just going at it. Fucking the stare down at the end of the fourth round. Fucking Rory covered in blood. Oh my god. Robbie Lawler was a fucking animal. Like,
Great
it's
person to
sad.
have as your because I mean, even looking, he's gotten so many awards by different, like multiple fighter of the year, comeback
Oh
fighter of
yeah.
the year from Sure Dog, Inside MMA Fighting, MMA Junkie, Bleach Sport,
Hmm.
like just mad different places.
Dude, and that's the thing, like Robbie Lawler is so well respected as well, and he's also like he's a really respectful guy. He doesn't talk a lot of shit. And that's one thing. One of my favorite quotes from him was he was doing an interview in his lead up to the Tyron Woodley match. And the interview asked him about the fight between Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. That just happened. Nate submitted Conor in that fight. And Lawler was asked about it. He was like, I was, and said that there was going to be, because there was rumors that they might fight, I guess. He was like, I wasn't too worried about it. Obviously, that was a big fight. He's a big draw, but it wouldn't have been too good for him. And the interviewer asked him, what do you mean? He's like, because if I hurt him, I wasn't going to take his neck. What were you going to take? And he just goes, dead serious, deadpan, just his soul. And just... Robbie Lawler is just such a like he doesn't like talk that much shit, but when he does, it is amazing. That is one of my all-time favorite quotes.
Well, that's the thing is, was he really talking shit saying that? Or was he just stating what he was gonna do?
Exactly. Because, yeah,
he
no,
wasn't
if
out
he...
here calling no one a bitch. He just said, I was gonna, I'll take his soul. Like,
Exactly, like... Oh my god. That's just what I loved about... That's just what I love about Robbie Lawler. He's just so matter of fact. No matter what, he just...
not to love about a matter of fact guy that puts on absolute.
Exactly. Those are some of my favorite fighters all time. The respectful, like, just, I'm going to state this. It's a fact. We're going to go to war. And then we're going to shake
like
hands.
A good shit talker.
No, yeah, I like shit talkers too, but just something about the respectful guy who just decides, no, I'm just going to go out, swang, bang, and get in a war. Every single time. Because what's not to love about someone who's just like, I respect you, but we're gonna go to war and I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass.
I mean, yeah, that's all in the name of the game, though. That's how it really should be. Even if there is shit talk, it should just be like a fun part of it. You know what I mean? Nothing personal, nothing crazy.
No, yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. That's the way I feel about it anyway. Like, you shouldn't just be going, like, some of these guys take it way too far. It's like, I can understand, like, shit-talking teammates or coaches. They signed up for that. They know what they're getting into. But once you start reaching into family, religion, it's like, this ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Leave that be.
Right.
So, yeah. And, God, someone, like, and just to quickly just go off on a couple of my favorite fights. One of my favorite fights, and I don't know if you've seen this one. I think we might have shown you this, but him versus Melvin Manhoff in Strikeforce. Robbie's just, it ends in first round KO by Robbie Lawler, but you would not have guessed that if you watched up until the knockout, because Manhoff was eating Robbie's lead leg, just completely destroying it. He goes in for like a combination. Robbie just throws an overhand right, so a lead overhand knocks Melvin Manhoff dead. It just, oh my god, such a good fight. Just like one of the craziest, like, just one punch knockouts of Robbie's career.
This shit is so wild when you beat someone kind of getting beat up and then they just land that one shot and it's like, oh shit.
I was about to say a good example of that is Derek Lewis versus Alexander Volkov. Because Derek was getting beat the fuck up that fight, and then just puts him down.
Needed to land.
Exactly. I think it's a Deontay Wilder quote. He was talking about fighting Tyson Fury. Look, he needs to be perfect for 90, like however long a boxing match is. I forget how long it is, but he needs to be perfect for like 36 minutes or whatever. I need to be perfect for 3 seconds. Like, and for some fighters, that's just true. You
Yeah.
just need to land that one shot, and it's just over.
Yeah, but some fighters pick and shoot when that 3 seconds is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they get beat up a little bit, and then they're like, all right, 3 seconds of perfection starts now.
Now, 3, 2, bang. But yeah, no, that's just why Robbie Lawler is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Mm-hmm.
For my favorite fighter of the week, I got Mr. Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell. um, the reasons he's my favorite fighter is barely fight related, but that doesn't matter. So, I'm not actually sure where to begin with him, but overall, as a person, he is just absolutely fucking hilarious. This cattle farming, mixed martial artist, country rapper, geocentric, like, come on, it's too much. It's fucking hilarious.
His existence is just a meme.
And I love every second of it. And
Yeah.
he respectfully got his camo shorts. So that's fun. But yeah, this man has just some crazy views. And then when I found out he has a degree in economics,
I still can't believe that shit.
I was like, yo.
And it's not even from like some like Ivy Tech ass bullshit.
No, he went to a university.
It's a legit unit, like not just a private university.
What a guy. So yeah, also just yeah, everything about him is it's just fucking ridiculous. Even the other day, did you see the splinter he got in his hand? Did you see what he called a splinter? This thing was a whole sliver of wood and his hand was leaking and he pulled it out and it was definitely like 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. Talking about a splinter.
It's like, my guy, you just pulled out a tree branch. What do you mean?
And he's just sitting there, just holding it, looking at it, just watching his hand bleed. Like, damn, I did that, huh?
Just admiring his handiwork.
That shit is hilarious. But yeah, him and his mom being a flat earther is just really funny. When I found that out, I don't know. I was just like, bro, like he's just one of those people. I feel like they're not real until I hear stories, and then they still don't feel real because I don't actually know anyone. Not that I know Bryce Mitchell, but you know, we clearly know of him well enough and that he's a real person. This man is a whole flat earther.
Yeah. And geocentric.
Yeah, the gravity's just a hoax.
Gravity's a hoax, and like geocentrism is the idea that, so you know how we revolve around the sun? The idea is no, everything revolves around the earth.
Right.
Just
the earth just doesn't move, doesn't spin, everything else spins around it.
Yes. I guess you have to be geocentric if you believe in a flat earth, actually.
What leads people to believe this?
Huh?
I said, what leads people to believe this?
Like,
this is really crazy, but then again, he also grew up in, where was it? Arkansas. Arkansas, Darkansas. How could I forget?
Yeah, right? Literally, the evidence that I hear half the time is, use your eyes. The horizon is flat. It's like...
It really depends on where you're standing.
Like...
I look into the horizon, and I see a wall, and that wall is mountains.
Well...
I have the lighter.
It's the whole you can't see the curve of the earth, which
No, I know, I was just being an asshole.
I'm sorry, this thing, like, I've gotten into so many arguments. It pisses me off. Like, ah,
But anyway, yeah, so moving on to more of Bryce Mitchell's life. Man's a country rapper. I mean, he only released one 7-track country rap mixtape in 2021 called The Pasture Fire. My personal favorite was Darkensaw. That's why I can't believe that like I forgot he was from Arkansas for a second because I was definitely gonna say Kentucky and I was like, no, it is far deeper
oh
south than
god,
that. Yeah, but from Darkensaw, he fought through the Darkensaw.
he fought through the dark and saw.
Light at the end of the tunnel, his energy's funneled. Come on now, fire, fucking bars.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm from
bars.
Arkansas, fuck the development, so light at the end of the tunnel, my energy's funneled.
My god.
He also has very other outspoken political views that I'm not gonna mention, but if you look it up, it's kind of funny. But onto his fighting career, he has all decision wins, one sub loss, one win by sub. But that submission, it was the only, it was only the second time it was ever done in the UFC, or at least like a victory by it, a fucking twister. It earned him Performance of the Night award, and it got him Submission of the Year by Sherdog, MMA Junkie, and MMA Fighting. This man YouTubed it 2 weeks prior and learned it off of YouTube in 2 weeks and said, yeah, I'm gonna do that. That shit's cool.
Yeah.
God.
You know. Oh my god. Setting up a twister is already hell. Like, it's hell when I see people trying to do it in, like, submission grappling. Like, I can only imagine just trying to set that shit up when you can get punched in the fucking face. So.
That was beautiful. He also had a beautiful fight with Edson Barboza, fucked him up. His one loss was incredibly acceptable to Ilya Taporia, who told him he was gonna make his face as flat as he believes the earth is, and that's just beautiful. So
Beautiful irony.
not only is that hilarious, but I love Ilya, so it's just a respectable loss.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
he is
on a
scheduled to face
fucking
Jonathan
tear.
Pierce May 6th at UFC 288, so that's exciting.
Redneck Khabib versus TJ Nurmagomedov.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so all in all, for little fight reasons, Bryce Mitchell is my favorite fighter of the week because that man is just fucking hilarious. And he does put on a good performance, so.
You really do.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for favorite fighter. I hope everybody enjoys their day. Out. Thank you for tuning in.